All right, everyone, thank you again for attending today's webinar. We'll be going over our communication software, Neighbors by Vinteum. Keep in mind your microphone and camera have is automatically disabled. And a little bit about Zoom. So as you can see, you do have that chat bar right here. If you're not familiar with Zoom, you do have that black bar right there across your screen. Your camera and audio are automatically turned off, but you can interact with me and other attendees utilizing that chat feature. And if you do have any questions, please utilize the Q&A. If it's a really pressing question, feel free to ask it at any time, or if you would prefer, we will be having more of like a Q&A session at the end of the meeting today as well. And a little bit about myself. My name is Frank. I am one of the account executives here at Vinteum Software. I've been working with the company now for about 3 years, and I absolutely love it. I really feel like I found a home for myself here at Vinteum. I went to the University of Redlands, where I graduated with my business degree in Southern California, where I do live. And when I'm not working, I like to hang out with my dog, Finley, go on a hike, and do some barbecuing. And a little bit about Vinteum Software. We have been around since 2014, and we do have 2 different software products. We'll be talking today about Neighbrs by Vinteum, which was our first software product. It's our communication software for HOAs and condominiums. But we also do have an inspection software as well, which is our newest product, which we are really thrilled about. When it comes to Neighbrs, as you can see, we do have a lot of different accolades here that we're really proud of. We do have 98% of clients renew each year, which is really awesome. So when we do get new clients, they don't typically leave. And then we do have a 97% satisfaction rating among our users, as we do send out a survey to all of our clients every year. And we do receive a lot of gratitude from clients that they really do appreciate our software and what it does for their communities. So if you're here today, it's likely that your community doesn't have a website, or maybe it does and it's a little bit outdated, and you're looking to sort of improve that. So I hope this webinar today will help you get a good insight about Neighbrs and see if it might be a good fit for what you're looking for. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and begin a demonstration. But first, I want to go ahead and show you a quick YouTube video. Right here is just a 2-minute video, which gives you a good introduction of what our communication software does. And then after this video, I'll go ahead and jump into an actual demo where I'll jump into our websites and then the software as well. Let me go ahead and start that.
If you live or manage a community association, such as an HOA or condo, you are likely familiar with the daily complications that arise from poor communication. When property managers or board members have an announcement, they often resort to mailed letters or common area bulletins. In either case, the odds of residents receiving and retaining the message are low, and the consequence is disengaged neighbors who don't know the rules or what is going on. For many communities, simple things like staying updated with association events, submitting service requests, or even reviewing community documents are a hassle. These situations tend to build up and are a continual source of frustration. There must be a better way to manage communication between board members, residents, and managers. The answer: Vinteum Neighbrs. Our condominium and HOA solutions simply make communication more effective. By using a multi-channel approach, we allow residents to connect to their community from anywhere. Looking to upgrade your community's website? Just choose one of our modern templates and proudly expand its online presence with a dynamic website that adapts to the device it's viewed on. With Neighbrs, our mobile app ensures that residents can stay connected while on the go. Community members can like, share, and post directly from our mobile app. Reserve common areas like the clubhouse or barbecue grill without having to worry about logbooks or reservation forms. View and download documents, such as last week's meeting minutes or the new renovation plans, electronically and securely. Allow residents to submit minute service request for everything, from a broken pipe to an architectural review request. Review and approve amenity bookings, send text messages, call residents directly, update your website, and so much more. Invest in an intuitive, practical, and effective solution. Vinteum was built to make community living simple. Transform your to-dos into dones and get started today.
Monday.com makes GANs great again. Yeah.
About that. All right, I hope you found that introduction helpful, and I'll go ahead and jump into a more thorough demonstration. So right here is going to be an example of a public-facing website. It's an example of a public-facing website that we can build out for your association. What's great about our websites is they're completely template-based, so they're really easy to make any edits or adjustments to our websites. You don't need a high-level knowledge of coding or WordPress or have to rely on a really tech-savvy member of the community to maintain your website. Really quite simple to do. So we can go ahead and have a nice big background image right here, your logo at the top left-hand side, a tagline associated with the community. And then this is an example of the different tabs you can have on your website, but keep in mind you can easily rename any of those tabs or even just leave them off completely. So you can have a lot of different information on the website, or if you'd like, you can certainly simplify it by removing any of those tabs. But with this specific one, as I click through, you can go ahead and view more information about the community, such as your About Us section, letting folks know what makes your community unique to family members and prospective buyers. You can have your location, just an interactive Google map of, letting folks know exactly where your community is located and what is surrounding it. And then right here is an image gallery, so you can certainly host some nice, beautiful images, kind of show off the association a little bit. And then at the bottom left-hand side, you can see you have links to any outside social media sources. So if you do have a community Facebook, you can provide a direct link to that. And then the next item here is entitled Services. But again, you could rename this tab, so you could sort of change it up to be a little bit more unique to your community's needs. But this is just a great place on the public-facing website where you can have a variety of subpages with different information. As you can see, I scroll through here, you're not limited to the amount of subpages that you can create. So you can host tons of different information on the public-facing website if you'd like, such as leasing information, your monthly newsletter, information maybe about your rules and regulations. And then what's also great to have here is a self-registration to the back-end portal. So this is great if you ever have a new resident moving into the community, they can easily self-register for the portal and you could approve or deny their access really simply. So it's pretty easy to manage when new residents moving into the association. And then the next item here will be our news section. So this is kind of like an area on the public-facing website where you can post different communication topics. This one is not limited either. You can post as many different news items here as you need to. But typically your everyday communication will be located within the portal. And I'll go ahead and jump to that in just a moment. And then the next here is going to be a contact us form. Pretty straightforward, but just an easy way folks can reach out to you and the board if they have any questions. Maybe it's a prospective buyer trying to learn about the community, or maybe a resident that just needs a little bit of help accessing the portal. They can reach out to you this way. And then the last item here is listed as classified. So if you'd like to promote any units that are for sale or for rent within your association, you can certainly do so. But again, you could rename any of the tabs. A lot of clients will actually utilize this to promote local sponsors. So maybe a local real estate agent or vendor, contractor, whatever it might be. And you could, charge them a certain small fee a month to advertise on your website to help offset the cost of your software. So feel free to reach out to us if you have any further questions on that aspect of it. So this is one example of a website that we can build out for you, but we do have another example here. This one is going to be using a different template. It's a really nice template, and it also showcases what more of like a basic website can look like. So again, you can have your background image, your logo at the top left-hand side. And then as you scroll down, you can go ahead and view everything on the one central page, such as your About Us section, small image gallery, contact us. And then that would be just about it for this website. So just to show you that you can add a bunch of different robust sections on the website, or keep it a little bit more simple if you'd like, and then keep everything in the back end portal. And then once you go ahead and click on Access Your Community, that's going to take you to your own branded login portal. So this is customizable in the sense that you can have your own background image right here. Your logo can be front and center. And then here's some information about our downloadable apps. We do have our iOS and Android application associated with our portal. So you'll see a lot of the tools that you'll see today in our presentation will also be available within our smartphone app as well. Now, I did already previously log in, so I'm going to go ahead and jump to. This is going to be the front page of the backend portal. This is where all the different tools are located to communicate with residents and to manage the association. But keep in mind, you can sort of customize this in a way that really meets the needs of your association. So if you're looking at any of these features here and you think they might be irrelevant, you can easily remove them from your portal. So I want to go ahead and filter through my different sample communities just to show you how you can exactly make this your own. So as you can see, we do have tons of different tools here that you could utilize. Or, if you have a small community, you don't really have that many different needs, you can certainly remove any of those irrelevant features. But for this demo, I'm going to go ahead and walk through my Riverside community, which really showcases some of our more prominently used tools. And then at the top right-hand side, you can see that I am currently logged in as the master administrator. So I do have the highest level of access to the system. But we do have 11 different profiles associated with our portal. So you could really decide with every member of the community who has access to the different features within the system. Now, as part of our 5-channel approach to communication, it starts with community news and notices. So this is a quick and efficient way you can go ahead and send out a mass communication to everyone within the community. When you do post here, it will send out an email, text message, or a push notification directly to our app. And then residents can also log in here and view those notices at any point in time. As long as you don't provide an expiration date, they'll always be visible to your residents. So, I'm not exactly sure how many of you are communicating with residents now. Maybe you're just using like an email chain, or you use Facebook, or maybe you're still mailing letters. This is certainly a way that you can expand upon that and communicate with residents in a variety of different ways. So to go ahead and create a new notice, just go ahead and click on the add button here. Enter the title for the notice, information about it here. You can schedule it for a future date if you'd like. Set an expiration date so it's no longer visible after a certain time period. For example, you're having a paving project that ends next Friday, no longer needs to be visible after that time. You can provide a list of attachments, so any documents or photos associated with that notice. And then if you don't do anything in this section and just click on post, it will send out that mass communication via email, text, and push notification. But you also do have the ability to really segment the communication to specific recipients. So right here, you can go ahead and segment your communication to specific buildings or streets within the association. So if you're like a condominium with multiple buildings, we go ahead and populate the system with all the different building numbers or names. And then being that you're a single family home community, we would go ahead and populate all those different street names. So maybe you just want to reach out to residents from one particular street, going back to that paving project as an example. You can certainly send out that communication just to those folks. Or you can segment it even further. Maybe you're just trying to reach out to all residents from maybe 1 or 2 particular units. You can easily do so, even further to the different resident profiles. So if your community happens to have absentee owners as well as renters or tenants, you can really segment your communication to those specific resident profiles. And then one of our most recent additions to this software was the ability to send out notices to custom contact groups. So on this left-hand side, I'll go ahead and get into it in a little bit more in depth in just a moment. But you do have the ability to build out custom contact groups. So any number of groups within your association, such as committee members, one for all of your board of directors, or even if you have different resident groups, you can go ahead and build those out, which will allow you to go ahead and send out messaging to those custom groups. So as I go and select one of these contact groups, for example, my communications committee, and then go ahead and click on send, this will send an email, a text, and a push notification to all my communications committee members with just a couple clicks. So it's really quick and efficient. All right, and then the next item here will be our community social network. This is kind of like a community Facebook if you want to think about it that way, but a much more simplified version, of course. This is where residents can post about maybe an item they have up for sale, as an example. Residents can like and comment on each other's posts. They can favorite certain posts that they'd like. This is also useful in case there might be a lost pet within the association, or maybe there's an event neighbors want to invite their neighbors to, they can certainly utilize this feature. It really just kind of helps build a sense of community within the association. And as opposed to utilizing an outside source like Facebook, which you can't really monitor, if you're not really sure if everyone within those groups are actually residents, this is a way that you would know for sure. And then keep in mind, as an administrator, you can easily remove anyone's posts or comments at any point in time, just in case someone might post something that might be against your rules and regulations, as an example. And then when you do delete their post, you can go ahead and let them know the reason behind it. All right. And then the next item here will be our contacts tool, which essentially acts as a resident directory. Let me go ahead and show you from the resident perspective. So when I click on community news and contacts, this is where your residents will come to view information about the different members within the association. So this is where your management's information will be listed, your staff, if you have any, board members, as well as the other residents within the association. But keep in mind, everyone's data when it's initially uploaded into the system is automatically going to be set to private. So you don't have to worry about giving away your residents' sensitive information without their consent. They can easily go into their settings in the top right-hand side and adjust any of those items if they would like. So if they click on their email as an example, they can allow other residents to see their email. They can keep their phone numbers private as an example. They can also decide if they would like to receive direct chat messages from other residents as well. So they can go ahead and click on that or click that off. And then lastly, they can also decide how they want to receive notifications within the system. So, we do have a wide variety of communications via text, email, and push notifications. But, it's likely that you wouldn't want to receive all three for each different communication type. So, for example, maybe when it comes to community notices, maybe they don't want the push notification or the email, but they want to receive a text message. They can certainly decide that with each feature in the system. All right, and then going back to my administrator view, the next item here will be our community calendar. Pretty straightforward, but just a great way to go ahead and let folks know what's going on within the association. You can go ahead and put your maintenance schedule. If you have any events coming up or board meetings, you can go ahead and post it directly to the calendar. And when you do add to the calendar, you can actually segment different events to the different profiles within the system. So for example, maybe if it's something that's just relevant to your management and board members, such as an upcoming meeting, you can go ahead and put it on just their calendar, so it won't even be visible to the residents or on their calendar whatsoever. When you do add to the calendar, it will send out a notification as well via email and a push notification to our app. All right, and then the next item here will be our chat feature. So this is kind of like a Facebook Messenger, if you want to think about it that way, just back and forth communication from one individual to another. But it's also a great place where you can host group communication as well. So with this contact group tool, as I mentioned, you could build out an unlimited amount of groups, maybe one for all of your members or for the different committees within the association, different resident groups. And then after building out those groups, you can allow group messaging between those members. So go ahead and select the chat feature, select the group message. You can enter in the group here. So for example, you want to reach out to all of your communications committee, enter in the subject, the message, any attachments associated with it, and then click on send. This will send all my communications committee members an email, push notification to our app, and then they can also log in and respond directly to that message. We can have a whole thread of conversation with different topics directly within the chat feature. So the idea behind this is that everything will be centrally located. You don't have to use all these different apps to communicate with your board of directors, residents, etc. All right, and then the next item here will be our text message tool. So this is a quick and efficient way. You can either send out a mass text message to everyone within the community, or if you're just trying to text an individual resident, maybe they're behind on their dues as an example, you can go ahead and send them a quick text. And another benefit to this too is you're not sending them a text message with your own personal cell phone. You're sending them a message on behalf of the association. We also do have a smart call feature. These tools look very similar. So let me go ahead and show you how the smart call feature works. So instead of sending out a text message, it'll send out a voice automated message, sort of in the form of like a Siri or Alexa style voice. So to go ahead and create a new smart call, just go ahead and click on the add button here. select the community. You can go ahead and send out a mass smart call to everyone all at once. If you do that, it typically will send within about 1 minute time to every member of the association. Or if you'd like to reach out to maybe just one or two particular residents that maybe they rely on their landline for communication, this is a way you can go ahead and reach out to those folks. Click on save, write your message, enter in the title of the smart call here, enter in your message. You could quickly send a test smart call to yourself just to hear how it sounds over the phone before you send it. And then when you're ready, go ahead and click on send smart call. So just another powerful communication tool at your exposure. You know, what's great about this is it's really beneficial in the event of an emergency situation. So think about it now. If there's an emergency in your HOA, you want to notify residents as quick as possible. How do you currently go about that? Do you send an email? Do you manually pick up your phone and start dialing residents? Or do you have that ability to go ahead and send out that mass communication in multiple fashions within just a few minutes? So that's certainly one of the benefits to this smart call feature and that text message tool as well. Another benefit to these tools, there's so many. When it comes to utilizing this system, residents would have to create an account to be able to log in. However, if they've never actually created an account to log in, you can still communicate directly with them through this text message tool, through smart calls, and you could also send them notices via email. So you still have the ability to communicate with residents, even if they've never created an account to log into your system. So I think that is largely beneficial, as some, residents might just decide that they aren't interested in, logging into your system, or maybe they're just not very tech savvy, as an example. All right, and then the next item here will be our document repository. So this is a great way you can go ahead and centralize all of your community documents. You can be very specific about your organization, as you can see here, with multiple folders, multiple subfolders, more subfolders after that. If you'd like, you're actually not limited to the amount of subfolders that you can create. And then another benefit to this system is you can decide very specifically who can access the different files and folders. So as you can see here, this one right here is only visible to administrators. So when a resident logs into the document storage section, they would only see the files and folders that are available to the public profile tag, available to residents, or available to that specific contact group that they might be a part of. And then keep in mind, this is part of the initial build out that we would do on your behalf. So we have a very thorough, what's called our white glove onboarding process, where we actually do the initial build out of the website and the portal on your behalf. And as part of that onboarding, we actually upload up to 500 documents for you. Again, even organize them in a specific fashion and even decide who can open the different files and folders. And then once we go ahead and do that, we would go ahead and train you on how to continually maintain your storage section. But it's really quite simple to upload a document. Let me go ahead and show you how you would do it. So you can go ahead and upload and create a new folder. You can upload a loose file. You can also store direct links here as well. So we do have the ability to store links to a third-party website, maybe like a YouTube video as an example. You can have residents click on a link and be taken directly to watch that YouTube video. So to add a new loose file, just click the add button here, upload the file from your computer, provide a document name, document type. These different document types just allow you to sort of filter through your document storage section a little bit easier. So keep in mind, you could utilize this however you see fit. And then you can decide specifically who you want that document visible to. So public, anyone that has a login to your system. You can make it private to just your managers and administrators, as an example. You can make it private to very specific people if you would like. You could make it private to a specific profile, such as your board members, or even to those custom built contact groups as well. So earlier I mentioned you can build out those custom contact groups for residents, for different committees. You can also segment documentation to those custom groups. So you can decide very specifically who can access all of your files and folders. You can also send out a notification via email and push notification to our app, letting folks know that you just uploaded that document. We'd love them to go ahead and take a look at it. You can provide a due date, just kind of like a specific date that will remind you of maybe like a warranty, as an example. That'll go ahead and send you an in-system notification, and it will also be located on your community calendar as well. You can also enable a public URL as well. So if you want to go ahead and create a link, a clickable link where residents can go ahead and just click and access that link, they can easily do so. They can access the document without actually having to log into the system. All right. And then that pretty much takes you through the document repository. So the next item here will be our virtual meeting feature. So this is a great way you can go ahead and host meetings with the residents virtually. So this was definitely a really prominently used tool during COVID, but we still have a lot of clients that take advantage of this. This is a full Zoom integration within Neighbors. You don't actually need a Zoom license to utilize this feature, just part of our premium plan. So you can kind of create a hybrid meeting as well if you'd like. Maybe certain residents prefer to show up in person, and then other residents would prefer to, sit in the comfort of their own home on their couch and attend your meeting virtually. They can go ahead and do so through this feature. And then the next item here will be our vote and survey tool. So this is a quick and efficient way you can go ahead and get feedback from your residents about different particular topics. Typically, it's utilized for preference-based items such as preferred paint color or preferred internet and television providers, as an example. We do have clients that utilize it to vote for board of directors or vote on those different rules and regulations, different proxies. We just recommend that you reach out to a local HOA attorney prior to utilizing the system for that, because rules around that do vary by state and even sometimes at a county level. But if I want to go ahead and create a new survey, just go ahead and click on the add button here, enter the title for the survey, information about it. You can provide your activation date, and closing time. You can notify participants prior to the closing the survey just to remind them to get their feedback in. You can have them visualize a partial result so they can see how the rest of the community is voting at that time. You can provide an open vote. So essentially you can decide if you would like to make it an anonymous vote or not. So if it's something like a preferred paint color, that's something that doesn't need to be anonymous. But if you are utilizing this to vote on board member rules and regulations, that's certainly something you'd like to keep private. If necessary, you can segment the survey to specific residents, such as streets or buildings, down to specific units and profiles. And then when you're setting up your questions, you are not limited to the amount of questions that you can ask. I sat here for about 5 minutes, continually clicking this button in the past and never reached a limit. So just to show you, you can ask as many questions as you need to per survey. So go ahead and type out the question here, and then the answer can be in the form of an open answer, single reply, or multiple answers. So open answer, obviously they can just go ahead and provide their own response, their own words. Single reply, so this could be like a yes, no, maybe, individual alternatives. And then you could also make it so that I can select multiple alternatives as well. You can make it so certain questions are required to fill out the entire survey. You can also provide attachments to each certain survey question. So if it's in regards to paint samples, you can actually show, the different colors that you'd be having your residents vote and approve on. All right, and then once your survey is set and ready to go ahead and select publish. This will go ahead and notify residents of a survey that you'd like to go ahead and get their feedback for. And then after the results are in, you can go ahead and view them in a nice graphical representation. And this will be an example of that. So obviously this is a test account, so there's not a ton of data here, but if you're able to get maybe 30, 40 votes, you have some nice populated data to go along with your different questions that you ask. All right, and it looks like we do have a question here. When using the vote feature, how does your software ensure no home sites vote more than once? So we actually do have the capability to make sure that only one unit can provide their vote one time. So that when you do set up your survey, you would just make it so the primary resident is the only one that can provide their response. That will ensure that only one vote is being utilized for that one unit. If there happens to be an owner that owns multiple units within your community, they can provide a vote for each unit that they own. I hope that answered your question, Larry. Thank you for writing that in. Appreciate it. All right, and then under community management, I want to go ahead and show you some of the back end features. So these two tabs right here, community management and managers, this won't be visible to residents at all. This is just for administrators, management, and board members. So this is where you'd go to access different details about the community, property details. If you track parking, we can certainly assist with that. When you click on units and houses, this is where all the different data associated with the different units will be listed. So as you can see, the unit number, the building or street, if there's an absentee owner associated with that unit, you can see the primary residence information. And then when you click on that unit, you can go ahead and see additional information about that individual unit, such as any additional details you want to add. That's, a custom field. You can add as much details per unit as you'd like. You can see the absentee owner's information, such as phone number, email, and then everyone has the ability to add their own emergency contacts as well. And then you can see the primary residence information, and then any other additional residents living within the property, typically other adults, such as someone's mother-in-law, spouse, that sort of thing. And then you can track vehicle information, parking spaces, and pets as well. So if there's ever any lost pets within the community and they did register them into the system, pretty simple to find out who that pet belongs to. Pretty awesome feature there. And then I do want to go ahead and show you under features. This is how you go ahead and toggle on and off the different feature set that you plan on showcasing within your system. So earlier I showed you how you can sort of simplify this system to only include relevant features. This is how you go ahead and toggle them on and off. So we are currently in the process of integrating with QuickBooks Online. That will be able to assist you with your financials. You can send invoices to your residents, and you would be able to see the status of those invoices directly through your Neighbors system. We're thinking approximately summertime for that to be fully completed. If you do already utilize QuickBooks Online, that will be a great feature add-on for you in the next coming months. And then the next item here will be our asset management tracking system. So this is kind of like an area that helps you sort of monitor the reserve study, the different assets that you and the board might own. Maybe it's a laptop, a painting, gym equipment, as an example. You can add those items to the system and track them, such as purchase date, warranty date, VIN number, etc. The next item here is our package tracking system. This is mostly utilized by like a high-rise condominium. So if it's not for you, keep in mind we can leave it out of your portal. But for those high-rise condominiums, it's an efficient way that packages can be tracked in your system. They'd be dropped off at the front desk or front gate member, and then they can go ahead and notify the resident that their package is available for pickup. We do have an access control system, which relies on like either front desk staff member or front gate attendant to manually track guests coming onto and off the property. So we do have an efficient system for guest tracking. The next item here will be our service request feature. So this is a way you can handle maintenance related items requested from residents. If you're a condo, maybe you deal with like in-unit issues, but if you're a single family home community, maybe it's more so just like common area issues such as a pothole or a downed tree or an issue at the pool, whatever it might be. They can go ahead and report those items through the service request feature, and then administrators can go ahead and respond directly to that maintenance request. And you can let them know what's going on with it, or you can go ahead and show proof when the item is fixed. And then every time there's a status update with that, it will send notifications to all parties involved via email, text, and push notification. Really efficient system there. The next item here will be our incident reporting tool. So this allows a responsible platform for residents to report different incidences that they notice within the association. Could be a suspicious person or vandalism. Maybe they just want to complain about their neighbor who shot off fireworks at 3 in the morning, whatever it might be. This provides that responsible platform for them to report those items, as opposed to them just picking the phone and calling you at 3 in the morning. And then the next item here will be our amenity reservation system. So this is a great feature for those communities that have like a pool, a clubhouse, tennis courts that they want to make reservable digitally. So a lot of our clients, they used to just, have residents fill out a piece of paper, drop it off at the office whenever they wanted to make the reservation, but now they can do so digitally through this system. We'd go and populate all of your different amenities with its own calendar of availability, and then residents can easily click and reserve specific dates and times that they would like. That pretty much takes you through a bulk of the different features within the system. I want to go ahead and show you quickly under managers and my site, how you would make adjustments to the public facing website. So earlier I mentioned our websites are completely template based. It's really easy to make any edits or adjustments to these. This is how you go ahead and do so. So under template and color, you can go ahead and search through the 6 different templates that we offer. The templates don't really change too much, but it just kind of changes the overall look and feel of the website. So you're certainly welcome to search through those 6 different templates and see which one you would prefer. You can see I have that maroon color highlighted, just kind of changes the accent color on the website. You can decide which sections you want to display. So just how you can remove irrelevant features in the portal, you can also remove irrelevant features on the website as well. So if I want to make this more simplified, I can remove certain items, click save and publish, and then your changes will take effect within about a minute. So it's really quite quick and efficient. And then to make adjustments to each individual feature, really quite simple. For example, your About Us section. You can easily change the title of that, make it a little bit more unique. You can easily highlight and delete the information that's displayed. You can adjust your image gallery really simply. Just go and delete the old photos, upload new ones from your computer, and then click on save and publish. And again, it'll just take about a minute or so to make those changes. So, just to show you again, you don't need a high level knowledge of coding or WordPress or rely on a really tech savvy member of your community. You'll see that, well, maybe it's an issue you're experiencing, but we do hear a lot from our clients that they had a website, it was built 5 years ago from a really awesome tech savvy resident, but now nobody knows how to access it. Nobody knows how to change the information or even how to access the domain name. So that can cause a lot of trouble for your association. You want something that's easily transferable and easy to maintain, such as a system like this. And then again, keep in mind, we do the initial build out on your behalf. So we will do the initial build out of the website, initial build out of the portal, and then we will provide full training for all relevant stakeholders via email, phone, and Zoom, whatever is necessary. Then after the onboarding period, the quickest way to go ahead and reach out to our customer success team would be through this chat feature. So you can go ahead and send in a question if you'd like by clicking new conversation, or you can go ahead and access different items from our help center, for example, our administrator manual. Click on that, it'll go ahead and take you directly to our help center, which will go ahead and walk you through different items within the system. You can search for different questions as well. For example, maybe you forgot how to post a notice. Go ahead and search for that, and you could read through the article or even quickly view a tutorial video. So once I click that, it'll take me to our YouTube page, which does have a ton of different articles showing you how to utilize the different features. All right, so that pretty much takes you through the administrator view. I want to quickly show you another item that we have in the resident perspective. So residents can quickly click on this community dashboard. So it's a quick and efficient way to digest what's going on within the association. You can see any recent notices that were posted, any social network posts that they're involved in, any events on the event calendar. If you do provide amenity reservations, there'd be another tile here to show if their reservations have been approved or denied. Then we also have a tile here for maintenance requests, if you realize that as well. And then residents will also have access to this talk to manager. So this is just a quick, easy way for them to reach out to the board or to management and ask any questions that they might have. It'll be sent to any administrator in charge of this specific chat feature. And then when they click on my unit, you can make it so that they can maintain their own unit information. So if you'd like, they can go ahead and edit this themselves, or you can make it so that only administrators can edit it. This is where information about their unit will be listed, such as primary residence information, additional residence, vehicle, parking, and pet information. All right, so that pretty much takes you through a bulk of the system. I want to go ahead and jump back to my presentation, and we'll go ahead and leave the floor open to any questions, and I'll do my best to go ahead and answer them. I do want to go ahead and mention that, I'd love to go ahead and dive deeper to your specific community's needs in a live one-on-one demo. So if you're interested in that, please set it up with me. I'm going to go ahead and provide a link to my calendar in just a moment. But if there are any questions at the moment, feel free to fire them away. did answer that question from Larry earlier about the voting feature. So yeah, we can go ahead and decide, or you can go ahead and make it so residents can only provide one vote per unit. Any other questions from anyone about any of the features I covered today? All right, doesn't seem like we have any questions. Might have covered everything. All right, so right here is going to be my email. Feel free to contact me directly. Shoot me an email if you did have any questions from our webinar today. You can reach out to me to schedule a follow-up call or a follow-up one-on-one demonstration. You can also snap a photo of this QR code at the bottom right-hand side. So just pull up your camera on your smartphone, hover over that QR code, and it'll take you directly to my calendar link. If you'd like to take a look at our website, learn a little bit more about Vinteum software and the tools that we offer, go ahead and check us out. Give us a call at 844-900-0910. And then I showed you a little bit of our help center. If you want to go ahead and search different articles there, you can certainly do so at vinteum.talk.help. All right, well, it was a pleasure to provide this demo for everyone. If you do have any questions, again, please do not hesitate to reach out. And we will be sending this recording out to you by the end of the day tomorrow. All right. All right, thank you very much, everyone. I hope you found this helpful. Please, again, reach out if you do have any further questions. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a really nice weekend as well. Bye-bye.